make sure they sound okay. So that way you don't even have to listen to this.
Hello? Hello. Oh, this is the part where Toby Maguire is going against Bonesaw. Bonesaw is ready.
Okay, cool.
The Flying Dutchman.
Alex, but whenever they do the interview, if you want to sit here just to listen, so because everybody talks different, if you just want to listen, just to kind of give us an up or a down for whoever speaks. But that won't be till obviously the interview portion.
Do I need to scoot in a bit? Okay. Hair check.
Lauren, yep, your spot, yep, perfect.
Yeah.
Righty. Hey, Zach.
Why is my phone like not?
Great answer. Great answer. Great answer. So we are live already, so just be
Okay.
careful what you say. Watch out. Sorry. How dare you exist? Yes. You just can't say fuck. You can't. I was gonna say. There's a word that you can't say.
Politics, racism, war.
Not like that. Especially for me. I have been married for 5 years, and then the worst thing to go on when I die. Okay? Or kill me, yeah. Just kill me. That's so funny. Yeah, that one would be all of it. Saturday morning. Sam, okay. Yeah, usually. No! Alright, stay safe, Travis. Remember, I'm gonna do back.
Oh, fancy.
The dreamsicle.
It looks really good. Looks like
Oh, I made a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh
for Root Your
shit.
Way, if you have anything
Nice.
you like,
Thank
you
you.
can have.
I can't pick. Probably this one. This one's great. Thank you.
All right, guys, just a reminder, big round of applause after Lauren introduces herself, and then you don't have to do anything else.
Let me sit up.
Mr.
Hey.
Alex, if you want to listen in just on the beginning, just because I know it can be loud. In about 30 minutes.
Should we be quiet when you guys do the introduction?
Yeah?
Try? Okay.
Yeah.
And then just applause and then back to normal.
Yep.
Okay, cool. 10 more.
Wait, Jade, stay here for a second. I need your applause. All right, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? This is the Brews Podcast. I'm your host, Mikey, too.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
So, this is our very first episode on the road out of obviously, the Nocturne studio.
Oh, yeah.
So there was many places we could have set up in here, but I had to set up in front of the big ring because whenever we have somebody on to come talk to us, they can actually sit on this bad boy and it won't fall. But that's why I'm sitting here and not there because it will most definitely collapse.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could sit in this.
I don't know if it can
That's all
hold
the
my weight, but
cushions.
it can most definitely hold Lauren and maybe Drew. But yeah, no, we are at Calm Collective in Cocoa Beach. There are 2 locations, but we are at the Cocoa Beach location because they have the most space.
Such a beautiful place.
Oh my gosh, I mean, like, so every time I explain this location to somebody, I always say, this just reminds me so much of, like, your typical coffee shop, like modern day
like
coffee
a
shop.
very urban
It does
coffee
not
shop,
look like
in
a
the
kava
city.
bar. I mean, like, if you think about it, like, there's not many kava bars that are this modern. I love how the TVs have, like, pretty much a built-out frame. The colors are simple. There's so much greenery. And there's so much to do here. There's
But
so much furniture.
they did such a great job tying in the aspect of being in Cocoa Beach, and I feel like it kind of has beachy vibes.
Oh, 100%. Very, very surfy. Like, cause like the floors are very, very sandy. Much night and day difference from what it used to be, and I'm really proud of the team that works here. That it took a lot. It took a whole village to rebuild this kava bar up to greatness like we have now. But yeah, no, we're really appreciative of them having us here. We actually have some in-house specialty drinks. So what are you drinking, Lauren?
Yeah. So I went for the strawberry guava mocktail, but unfortunately they ran out of strawberry puree.
Okay.
So instead they replaced it with mango, and it's really, really good. Super good.
I got the orange sherbet, or I got the dreamsicle, and it's got.
That's even pretty. It's like
it's so
falling
pretty.
down.
Yeah. So that's actually so that's the creamer in it. So it makes it look super pretty. It looks like a snow globe.
It literally looks like a melted dreamsicle.
Yeah, because it has the vanilla creamer, orange soda, and kratom extract, and I mean it looks amazing. I haven't even tasted it yet. I gotta taste it. You get the live reaction right here, y'all. Let's see. It'd be so funny if I was like, oh no. That's it. That's a dreamsicle. That's pretty dang good. Here's the thing: is I'm always worried whenever I drink kratom extract that it's gonna be too overpowering, and like you're gonna taste because
I got a double in mine. I don't taste it whatsoever.
I got a double as well.
Beautifully crafted mocktail.
I mean, both of our drinks look really pretty. Like,
Yeah.
I like the glasses, so I like the tiki head glass for yours, and I like, for this looks like what a dreamsicle would be served in. Like, if it was a drink, it looks like a pina colada glass.
It does.
But yeah, no, we got some really good drinks here. The ambiance is really great. The employees are great. Really good audience. Right now, we actually have the one and only Atreides. He's playing fetch right now, but
Yeah, a lot of space in here.
well, Atreides, you want to come up on camera? He's like,
I bet
yeah, I
you can
do.
Get up here.
Atreides, come here, baby.
He's up on the couch now.
So this is Atreides. This is my dog nephew.
This is the little dingo.
Hi, Atreides. Yeah, you want to come up here?
Buddy.
This is Atreides.
Oh.
Hi, baby.
Buddy, can you sit?
Sit.
Oh.
Oh, Atreides.
Good boy. Is that my photogenic puppy?
Atreides' favorite drink here is the cup full of whipped cream,
Yes.
the pub cup.
Aw.
That's a 10 out of 10. Right, Atreides? Oh, you're just a good baby. All right, well, bye, Atreides. We love you.
Get out. Oh, honey.
It's not moving, Mom.
Oh, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment on the show.
Imagine the home just get crushed
I got
down
kicked
the
in the
hall.
face. No, you missed it. I got super racked by Atreides. He was galloping and jumped at me, and he just leaped right at my nards. It was
Oh,
it was
Lord.
really painful. Thanks, Atreides.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just such a great vibe here.
I mean, seriously, like, this is the ideal kava bar vibe. If you guys want to find this bar, other than the address, right out front is where they have Oceanside Pizza, but they also have the surfer statue right out there. It's near
Good old Kelly Slater.
good old Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
We love Kelly Slater here on the podcast, local celebrity.
Yeah.
But we're not going to waste any time getting into it today. We're back to our normal setup and our normal structure. So we're going to hop into our first segment we like to call This or That. This is the part of the podcast where we choose between two topics, this or that, and we explain why we like it. And then we bring a couple people on from the bar to talk about which they prefer and why. And yeah, it's a little fun little thing we get to do here.
Yeah.
And it allows us to get a little bit of crowd interaction.
Yeah.
So this week, our first segment, or our first question is, which do we do this? Do we do New Year's resolutions or not, and why?
I think for me personally, it depends on the year and what I'm feeling. So
If it was a bad year prior, you know I'm changing it up.
no, I feel like if it was a good year prior, then I don't even feel like I need to make another resolution this year.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I just kind of keep that resolution going. So I want to say last year was traveling more, getting out. I know.
I mean, you traveled a lot.
Yeah,
last
went
year.
to Louisiana 3 times. Went to Chicago. We visited a lot of cool places locally. Went to a lot of kava bars off camera.
Yeah.
And the year prior to that one, it was to go to more shows because Fred
Yeah.
had like introduced me to a lot of shows at Universal. Like
I mean, we did
A lot
what?
of
We did
musical
3
shows.
shows. I think the 3 of us. We did Tampa. Well, so we did Tampa, we did St. Pete, and we did Orlando.
yeah, it seemed like every
Just the
month
3
we
of
had
us.
something going on, and then I just kept it going.
Yeah.
And it's been an
This
amazing
year-
experience.
This year's gonna be a fun one for music. So
It is.
we're doing Rockville.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks after Rockville, I'm doing Bonnaroo, and we actually have a big group. Tyler Brown's going to be coming with us.
Oh,
Tyler Brown,
nice.
my buddy Louise, his friends. There's a couple people. Luke that was just here from Big Dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be there. We have a really big group. I think we have a group of like 15, 16 people going.
That'll be great.
Because
And
it's out
then-
in Tennessee, so it's a long drive.
Yeah.
But
It's not too long. I go up there every
I
summer.
like Tennessee.
Forgot to mention that one. Went up to Tennessee and North Carolina before the hurricane, which I was very fortunate to get to see everything before that disaster.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try and do Earth Day Birthday too. Earth Day Birthday is like my favorite festival.
Yeah, I've never been, but I always hear it on the radio.
Yeah, oh yeah, always. I mean, you can't go wrong. Earth Day Birthday is really, it's just, you get a lot of great artists, and it's more rock-centered, which I like. And so is Rockville, but I prefer Earth Day Birthday over Rockville. But Rockville is more personal. It feels like, although it is inside the Daytona Speedway, it still feels super personal and stuff. Because, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you can see artists just walking around.
You really can't. I almost went up to a few, but then I got nervous. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave them alone. And it's actually funny because I posted some pictures I had taken, and then they DM'd me, and I was like, I should have just went up and talked to them in person.
Well, so for me, in my personal opinion, I don't particularly believe in resolutions because I feel like resolutions are meant to be failed. The term, listen, the term resolution almost has a negative connotation. Like, it starts out
Yeah.
positive but always ends negatively.
When you
But-
think of the word resolution, it does have a condescending
Well,
like.
it sounds bad, but also on top of that, instead of setting a resolution, set goals all year round.
Yeah.
Goals are different than resolutions because goals can be something small that's achieved over time. Every single day I have about 5 or 6 goals I try and set. And goals don't have to be anything huge. I get more gratification from 10 small goals than one big resolution for
Yeah,
the year.
for sure.
Because then I get more self-gratification for it.
You feel like you've done more.
You feel like you've done more, yeah, exactly. So, I've been one for resolutions in the beginning, but then I realized I never followed through on the resolutions just because someone's like, oh, how's your resolution going? And then you're like, then you have to be like,
You're like, not so good.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's just,
Yeah.
here's the thing is, anytime I hear resolution, it also makes me think of like people that are trying to change things that like, aren't super important. Like people are like, oh, I wanna lose a lot of weight or something like that. Or it's a lot about self-consciousness. Like, here's the thing is, if you set a goal like I want to lose in this month I want to lose 5 pounds. Next month I want to lose 5 pounds. Keep going that. And you do it
Yeah.
in smaller bits than an entire
It
year.
seems
An entire
easier,
year is
you know,
way
than
overwhelming.
looking at the bigger picture.
Like a couple goals that I set up for myself is every single day making my bed, just remembering to do the small things, making my bed, brushing my hair, brushing my teeth, meet one new person each day, and end the day happy
Yeah.
without any negative thoughts. So, every single every single person is different, You could have something that's way more ambitious, So I always say shoot for something ambitious long term, but set some, reasonable goals. But yeah, so we're gonna get someone up here to talk about this, and I'll have Lauren go grab him. He's right up there at the bar.
Okay. Let me be careful not to
Trip.
try and trip or...
Ula.
Alright. It's your time to shine. The question.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, was it you or him?
Him, not you. You're not. You're the interview. This is an interview. Yep. Come on.
Random questions. So how was that how was that truck out? Last time I saw you. That's what it broke.
Alrighty, well, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Brandon.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait for Trades to go, just in case.
That's okay. Trades can join me. I love the dog. He likes to follow me.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Brandon. I've been
How-
running around the community for probably like 3-4 years now.
3-4 years. Okay, that's a good time frame. That's a good time frame. So obviously the question is, in your terms, do you do New Year's resolutions or do you not do resolutions?
Like, I like to set them and attempt to follow through the whole year, which falls on and off. And I heard you say something earlier, like where it's like, normally it's like an internal, like
Yeah.
it's struggle you're trying to
Yeah.
work with. Normally it's a goal I'm trying to better myself with.
Yeah.
So if it's
Okay,
like,
so see, you use
yeah.
the term goal. Now, I don't use the term resolution. I use the term goal because goals are something that are more short term. So,
Yeah.
like, I was saying, like, every single morning, one of my goals is make my bed, brush my hair,
Yeah.
end the day without any negativeness. Like, make sure I end the day happy and, content. So, you use the word goal. Naturally,
Yeah.
use the word goal because that's what people set as goals. Resolutions, are almost meant to be broken. Like, promises.
Yeah.
Promises
yeah,
are meant to be broken.
the term resolution to me means there is an outcome. There is a finalization to it. So
Really?
once it becomes enough of a habit, like let's say
Okay.
I want to clean my house and like keep it clean more
Yeah.
or like knock something out, that means there's a finishing aspect to it. Because if I set a resolution that is incessant, that will like never end really,
Yeah.
boy, I'd have what 36 years of resolution things to try to that'd chew up my whole day, right? So
Oh, yeah.
something like she said, like travel more. She did traveling more last year. She knocked that out. The goal is done.
Yeah.
Right? The resolution is complete. There is a finalization to it.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate. I mean, that's probably the best answer you could have possibly given. So I'm glad I chose you to
I
answer some
tried.
questions.
No.
But good stuff, Brandon. I appreciate
Yes. Pleasure.
But as far as the product, like how at the very end,
it. All right, Lauren, you're back.
they try and like sell you a $100 product. I go into that place, you look up the little thing, and it's like $6.
Emma, you're gonna be next, by the way,
Oh, okay.
but not right now. You have time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, okay, that's fine. Thank you. You know you're not supposed to
Okay,
do that.
I am back.
Alrighty. Well, Brandon actually probably gave the textbook, definition of everything. I mean, he's very, very literate. So I'm glad I brought him up here. Very, half the time. Well, our next topic is our Kava Kratom question. So,
I'm a little confused on this one.
okay. So, the question is, which do we prefer more? East Coast Kava or West Coast Kava? So now, what I'm going to consider that as is, I would say East Coast Kava is a lot of the Hawaiian Islands,
Okay.
Polynesian Island Kavas. So like that's like the black sand or the white sand.
You're talking like California.
Yeah, well, not California.
like
I'm talking about the Hawaiian Islands.
Oh, okay.
So like the Polynesian Islands and stuff like that. Then West Coast is kind of like Fiji,
Oh.
Fiji,
I wonder if the roots are different in a way.
Well, they are. So some are stronger, some are more potent. So like Vanuatu, I'm pretty sure is a East Coast kava. So is the Sand. But there's Fijian kava. There is Solomon kava, which is West Coast. So it's kind of which are you more likely to drink?
Well, you know me, I'm not like huge on kava just because of the taste. The effects are phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But I like something like Kratom where you can mix it and like have it taste
Well, hey,
good.
today we were at Island Root downtown and we had
The kava ice cream.
Yeah,
I saw
it was
on your story.
So I've been introducing people to it a lot.
That stuff is really strong and good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I gave Kurt and Mike, I gave them a cup of it, and then I gave Ollie some, and those are some regulars that are over at Island Root downtown, and they both loved it. Like, they were very skeptical. Ollie originally he's like, I'll have one bite, blah blah blah, and then
he's like, give me the whole thing.
He ate the entire thing. He had the mint chocolate chip, and then the guys had Vibe and vanilla.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see, because here's the thing is there's a whole group of people that don't know about this that drink doubles every single day, and they're like, wow, we feel this kava ice cream. And I've been tagging them a lot just because, you know, we only support businesses that we agree with. You know, we don't shout out businesses that we don't particularly that may not go against what we believe morally. And, you know, it's a very hard thing to find these days. You know, everybody tries to take shortcuts, but these are companies that don't cut corners. We actually today I just got an email. We plan on interviewing in the future the CEO of Mitra, which is really awesome. I'm really excited about that. Plus, we're going to tour their facility. We're going to get some footage from them. We're going to get some merchandise. We're actually going to be giving away. So I'm going to put out the announcement now for this episode. Is we're going to be giving away a 2 4-packs of Kratom and Kava Mitras. So we're going to give away a 4-pack of Mitra and a 4-pack of Kratom seltzers. And it's going to be a little variety pack, so that way, you know, we want to give back. Mitra's helping us out. We want to give back to you guys.
Yeah,
that's what we're all about.
And if you've never tried it before, you can figure out your flavor this way. This is a great opportunity to try it without having to pay.
Yeah. So the way that you are going to enter is if you like and comment on every single video, the more videos you like and comment on, the more entries you get to win the giveaway. So if we can get a good amount of likes and stuff, that'll show them that they can send us more stuff to give away to you guys, and it's absolutely free. We don't charge anything. We'll bring it to you directly, or you can pick it up from us at the studio, and we just want to give back. That's what we're all about here at the podcast, is giving back. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have to go with my choice. I don't particularly drink kava for the effects that much, so I'm going to have to go with the Fijian kava, because Fijian kava is super smooth, and it just has an overall, like, kava doesn't have a great taste, but I would say it's the best tasting of all of them. And again, I'm not drinking it for the strength, so that's why I'm not really saying anything like Vanuatu or the white sand or the black sand.
Yeah, I feel like Solomon's very popular just based off of what I've heard. I used
we
to
talked
sit
about
at
that a couple
Raisin
times.
Shells quite a bit, and while I was doing schoolwork, and I'd hear people place their orders, and they're always asking for the Solomon.
Always.
So what does Solomon do exactly?
So Solomon is just obviously it's, you know, as much as you let it filter out, like whenever you filter it, the more you filter it, the less you're going to get that strength. But the thing with Solomon is, by itself is already a stronger strain of kava. So that's why there's always that, which do people like more, Vanuatu or Solomon? Because they're both really great, but honestly, a lot of people just choose to go for the Vanuatu most of the time. But like at Raisin Shells, Solomon is way more popular.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to go more for the Solomon. And, you know, it's all preference, you know.
Yeah.
I like I said, I prefer things that don't give me more effects, but I do prefer just something smooth, because I don't like grittiness. I have a really weird thing with texture.
Yeah.
So with, you know, Solomon and Vanuatu, you do get a little more gritty, but with Fijian, it's just super
Sometimes
smooth.
I don't mind it being gritty though, because to me it's like it's earthy. It feels more natural.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it tastes. It feels like it tastes. So
Yeah. I'm getting so distracted. There's like a mini TV up there in the corner.
I know, and Spider-Man's on right there. I love
And
it.
it's like a compilation video. I'm like sitting here talking to Mikey. I'm just like, oh, look at that monkey ear. Oh, look at that. towel animal they have on the cruise ship up there, and now I'm watching a guy ski and do a bunch of backflips.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people are gonna have a lot to say about this topic, especially down in the comments. So, like I said, if you guys want to enter to win the free mitras, literally all you gotta do is just comment something about the video, like the post, and the more you like and comment, like the more videos you like
The more
and comment
entries
on,
you'll have.
the more entries you have. So I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna grab Emma, and I'll let you talk with her about
Okay.
this. You think you can explain it to her well enough, like how I did for you?
Probably not.
Like,
Like what? I'm sure Emma already knows.
Perfect. I could just keep Lauren one earlier. Perfect.
Are you familiar with like East Coast kava versus West Coast?
Not really. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Okay. You can sit.
Oh.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, that's
He's
so
a mama's
cute.
boy.
We can smooth this one, shuffle it.
actually, here.
Okay. You can go back to dad. Go back to dad.
Okay, Emma. The question for this or that segment is, which do you prefer, East Coast kava or West Coast, and why?
So, I probably prefer West Coast kava so specifically I had, I think everybody knows Eric in the kava community, right? And so I had his White Sands, which is a Vanuatu strain of his
Okay.
kava, and it literally tasted like he had coffee creamer in it.
Uh-huh.
It was fantastic. And so I think
Brewer can it could be a night or day difference depending on
yeah.
the brewer for
Oh
sure.
yeah, and I mean you hear about everybody that's had all these horror stories from like brewing their own kava, and
Yeah.
stories from like brewing their own kava, and they
Yeah.
leave too much like gunk in there, and then they end up getting like GI issues. Same thing with kratom too. So
Okay,
it's really
interesting.
important too because it just sits in your intestines, and then that's how you can get like
Yeah.
diverticulitis or you get some kind of inflammation in your stomach. So
I didn't realize it was that dangerous.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, if you're
because-
not doing it.
Yeah,
Precisely.
especially if you're not like the instant kavas or the instant kratoms, you have to strain them before you drink it. So, but yeah, I definitely think I prefer West Coast just
Okay.
from the good experiences that I've had with people brewing them, and I don't drink kava often, but when I do, I think it definitely depends on who's brewing it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much.
Of
That was very
course.
informative. I'm glad you touched on the health aspects of
Yeah, strain
what
your
could go
kava,
wrong.
strain your kratom, don't end up in the ICU with diverticulitis.
Good to know. Thank you, Emma.
Of course.
All right, we are rolling through it.
Well, so I was misinformed. So Steven's gonna correct us here in a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
Sure, I'll take it. Yeah. I mean, I'm always mistaken, so I would not be surprised.
We need a fact checker over in the corner
Steven's
on
gonna
their
fact
laptop.
check us. But yeah. So I feel like, we had a lot of very well versed people come up here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had Brandon, we had Emma. They're pretty well versed. Well, we're gonna get into our next segment of the show. This is a part of the show we like to call Inner Brews, where we interview a few people or one specific person that's a member of the community. And this week I said, well, since we're going to be at our first kava bar that's not nocturne, I was like, let's get to know some of the employees that work at the
Yeah.
bar.
So it's great to hear from them.
Yeah, so
Get their perspective on everything.
we have a lot of fun with this. We get to kind of, nothing scripted other than the fact that I do give them a couple days to check out the questions ahead of time, just so they're not, sitting here thinking about the answers. But I don't know any of the answers. Lauren doesn't know any of the answers. We keep it 100% all natural and unstaged. So, yeah, we're going to get the first person up here, which is Steven James.
All right, you're going to be in the hot seat.
Steven, you're going to sit right up there.
What should I do? Can I touch the microphone?
Yes. So you'll hold the
I'm,
microphone.
Oh,
I'm
this
pretty loud. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to read me.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me? Perfect. Yeah, I'm pretty loud naturally.
Perfect.
It's a horrible gift. Um,
So what are you drinking?
I'm just drinking a Green Premium.
Green Premium.
Yeah, it's our nitrogen infused tea, not nitrous. that would give people the wrong idea completely. Nitrogen infused tea with extract in it, like our own extract that we make.
Yeah. Well, so go ahead and introduce what. So what do you do here at the bar?
So I'm the manager. I kind of helped come up with the whole concept of the bars.
This place is beautiful. You did.
Oh,
a
it's super
phenomenal
crazy.
job.
It's
I-
amazing.
So
I
how did
really-
you come up with the idea of this?
Oh, the big round.
Actually, someone in my life was helping me look for, ideas for this, and
Like
something similar to this came up, and I was like,
Like on Pinterest or something?
yeah. And I was like, I really would love to do that.
Was
And
it
then-
originally meant to be a seat, or was it meant to be more of
Oh, it was
a
always
display?
meant to be
Okay.
always meant to be a seat. That's why it's like weight registered for like it's a good amount. You can fit up here too. We
Okay.
can sit up here together and cuddle.
Piggyback. Oh, still
Yeah,
cuddle.
we can-
Hello.
we can
The
come
cuddle circle.
Uh
Cuddle puddle in the circle. Nah.
oh. Well, before we get into our first question, go ahead and fact check us. So what did we get wrong?
Oh, I might have misheard.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
I was listening to y'all speak about kava.
Okay.
And the things that make it strong or whatnot. It's really the soil content of where the kava is grown that has a lot to do with the strength of the kava and how much lactones are produced
Okay.
in the roots. Like when you get van, right?
Okay.
You know, there's like so many different types of van.
Yeah.
The reason why there's so many types of van is because it's coming from different areas with different soil contents, and it creates different. Kind of like how people are made. Everyone has the same proteins and alleles, but they're lined up a different way. Right?
Oh yeah.
Same thing in kava with soil. If the soil has different contents, then the lactones are going to line up a certain way. And
Oh,
create
yeah.
Would you
different
say it
way.
makes a difference once the plant is cut, how you store it before brewing? Does that make a big difference
Well,
as far as the taste and the effects?
by the time that we get it, that whole process is already done there.
Yeah.
So I would not know in that depth of
We
it.
need to find a scientist.
Yeah, we
I
might
bet
need,
you know who would know? Big Dog, the owner
Yeah,
of
Big Dog, he would probably
Kombucha.
know.
Yeah, Gerhard
Yeah.
probably definitely does know.
We love that
I was
guy.
gonna say I could always ask so we're fortunate enough that our extracts come from like a biochemistry lab that we have access to within our
Okay.
company.
Okay.
And I could probably ask them if they know.
Okay.
But they know more about the
Yeah,
science
I'd just
of
be
it.
so curious what the actual process is, like from start to finish.
It's almost like anything that you cultivate. That you pull it out, you cut it, you dry it, and then pound it.
So you know who would be actually super perfect for this?
Who?
Kyle Peters.
Peter. Oh yeah.
He could. So
100%.
Kyle is Noble Tea.
Okay.
Noble Tea.
So
I've heard
he
of
will be
them.
perfect for this. So let's get into our first question for you. You know, we got some hard hitting questions for you. All right.
All right. let's
So
start.
the question that we have for you is, what is the biggest change you've seen since the rebranding?
The biggest change since the rebrand. I mean, I wouldn't even really call it a rebrand because it's a whole different company.
Oh yeah,
A rebrand would
insinuate that it's
insinuate that the old owners have something to do with any of this, and they
yeah,
don't.
they don't.
But the biggest change, besides appearance, besides the physicality
I'd
of
say,
seeing
yeah.
it, is probably just the spirit and the people like in the bars,
Well, that's good to hear.
like the people behind the bar.
Because
make
everything
all the
seems so
difference.
positive.
Well, here's the thing: is so what I noticed before is I used to come out here every now and then to do the open mic back in the old days.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally night and day's difference because literally it went from black walls to white walls. Like
Yeah.
it's so much brighter in here. The lighting is so professional. It's super pretty. The little artwork on the wall where it's like the different designs and the wood
Yeah, I
paneling.
love the wood
I love it.
pieces.
The furniture's gorgeous. It's kind of got that modern but
Modern,
retro feel.
urban,
Like the
beachy,
coffee
chic.
tables are very retro.
Yeah.
The chairs, but then you have like the
It's
modern
very
lighting.
Californian or like West Coast, honestly. It's
Very.
beautiful.
We love it.
The thing is that we had seen so many kava bars that have, and there's nothing wrong with it. They had like the dark ambiance, basically, like everything's dark, or either if it is bright, it's like bright blue walls or teal
Too
walls,
bright, yeah.
like too colorful. And we just kind of wanted to go with like a modern bohemian.
Color
like,
theory is
chill.
so important when it comes to bringing the vibe
I mean, it's
to
beautiful. All the
any
colors
place.
flow perfectly in here.
I appreciate
So,
that.
so now one question I don't have on here, but I like to keep things real here. I like to, I like the nitty gritty behind the things. So a question I have for you is, what is the hardest part about managing a kava bar?
The hardest part about managing a kava bar is probably managing all the personalities.
Yeah.
That because everyone behind the bar is different.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's different. They work different. They handle things differently. Some are stronger in some areas than others. But the hardest thing is managing and trying to be a good boss while also being an effective leader. So without keeping order, without having to be rude in
Yeah.
any fashion,
Yeah.
like because sometimes I'm a person just like anyone.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like there's some days where I walk in and I'm just like, where was the common sense yesterday? But then I have to give people grace because there's days where I walk in and I barely, like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to act like I do everything all the time. No, there's days where I walk in and I am very low energy and I'm like, yeah, this is the best I'm
Yeah.
doing.
A good
So-
manager is someone who can, admit their faults, but, learn from the faults. I understand 100% about the different personalities in a kava bar. I've gone through about 4 or 5 kava bars to try and help rebuild or rebrand their kava bars, and I
You do a
mean,
good job.
I
You do a good job.
it's very difficult to find a way to manage different, because you have some people, they're really great at making drinks, but they might not be the best at the socializing, so they might be a better brewmaster than a bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and here's the thing is, brewmasters can also be barbacks, because I feel like it's a full-time job to be a kava tender. Like, you don't have time to do anything other than make sure you're staying attentive to your customers. And whenever you're, obviously not saying that you're not fully busy when you're a barback, but it allows you to shine best where you are at.
Yeah.
And because like I know it's crazy. So over the last year I've actually made a note. I have a thing on here. I'll have to pull it up, where I've gone to about, I'd say, 46, 47 kava bars, and I've ranked every single one of the
Wow.
kava tenders I've had.
No.
And I went and I ranked them, who's the best. And I will say Brevard and St. Pete have some of the best. So now,
That's believable.
so okay, if I'm gonna name bars, it's not that these bars are the best, but this is where that kava tender is located. And I'm not gonna mention names because I want to do a thing at the end of the year, of this year, where we talk about some of the best kava tenders. But so the towns where they're located would be St. Pete, Daytona, Fort Pierce, Cocoa Beach.
And I'm sure
So-
that's going to grow as the year goes
And
on.
that's the
for
thing
sure.
is one thing I want to do at the end of the, or not at the end of the year, but maybe close to September, October, is we're going to do a battle of the bars. It's a friendly competition. Who makes the best drinks? And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in outside people. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring people from other kava bars that aren't included, that aren't even in the same city. We're going to bring people out from Daytona to judge bars from Cocoa, or bars in St. Augustine to judge bars in Miami. And we're going to do a battle of the bars, and we're going to keep it fair. And then whichever bar has the best collective mocktail, they get to choose. Each bar chooses their number one mocktail.
Okay.
And whichever bar at the end of the year wins gets a Breaking Brews plaque and a trophy, bragging rights, plus something special I'm not going to spoil yet. But come August, I'll start telling people more
Honestly,
about
this
it.
is really good. I feel like they're already up there on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it.
But yeah, I mean, seriously.
Count me in on that.
So I will say, Jess wasn't able to be here, but I want to give Jess some super big creds on some of the drinks that Jess has come up with. One of my favorite drinks here is the cotton candy dragon fruit slushy.
Lemonade.
That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's super pretty. Seriously, I haven't seen a prettier slushy.
It's the kratom or kava version of the unicorn drink
Yeah.
at
That's what I was
Starbucks.
about to say. It
And it
sounds like a
doesn't
unicorn
look,
drink.
it doesn't taste bad either because it's got a lot of kratom in it, but it doesn't taste bad.
Yeah, right.
So
and-
the effects are good. The presentation is phenomenal.
Whenever I've done open
The
mics here,
taste.
every single time I bring somebody new out, I make them try it, and it's by far one of their favorite drinks. Like,
Oh,
I would say that, or maybe you have another drink here. I'm trying to remember what it is. I'll look at the menu and
The
put it in
sour
here.
melon, probably.
Sour melon.
Sour melon's always everyone's favorite.
Yeah, that's Emma's favorite. I was just chatting it up with her. She's drinking one right now.
But so that's one thing that I'm really excited for at the end of the year. And I mean, just alone from now to I'd say May 12th, we're going to be visiting 20 kava bars.
Oh, nice.
So like we're going to have a lot. We're going to probably have about 40 kava bars, and we're only going to do kava bars that we visit. Just, kind of keep it fair
Yeah.
or whatnot. And that way people can come back and we can do best moments of this kava bar.
Invite me on some of those crawls.
Oh, yes, sir. Actually, so we're going to be setting up a kava crawl here in March. It's a big one, and you guys are included.
Okay, let's go.
It's a big one. It's
Let's
going to be
go.
a good couple hour kava crawl. We're hitting about 8 kava bars.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's gonna
I'm
be a
here
good
for it.
time.
I'm here for it.
Well,
So-
Steven, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, so you were talking about brewmasters and everything. I actually have taught all my bartenders how to brew everything.
It's very important. I think brewing is common knowledge, or should be common knowledge.
I think that it's good to have your people know what they're serving and how
Exactly.
they're serving it, and
So they
what
can explain it
portions
better.
they're in. Yeah, so they can explain that, and so that also that they take a little bit of knowledge. See, that's one thing I don't agree with a lot of bars on is faulting their employees for wanting to move on and go
Exactly,
somewhere
yeah.
else. Now,
This community is all
I
about
feel
growing.
like any great manager wants to see their employees progress and do better for themselves.
Especially here in the
Right,
kava
this-
community. The kava community is all about love.
right, and that's one thing that I've tried to make very apparent here is listen, if y'all ever feel like this isn't for you, let me know. As long as
'Cause
we're
here's
on
the thing is
good
if you-
terms, I'll give you a good reference. But if you've done something horrible, then
Yeah.
that would be a different story.
So, like, here's
I
the
feel
thing.
like that creates a healthy environment as well, being just open
Yeah.
to talking about stuff like
I'm
that.
very transparent with my people. If things are going on, they understand why, and so because if they understand why, then they can better cope with it and move forward with it.
Yeah.
So the way that I see it is especially if you have a kava tender that's getting tired of it and they stick around just because they feel like, they have to be here. If you're not happy where you're at, you're not going to provide great service.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
So
definitely going to
your
reflect
happiness,
on
and that's the thing is,
people around
I
you.
always tell people that I'll never work a job where my happiness is sacrificed.
Right.
Because here's the thing is there are thousands of jobs you can do, and if you are not happy where you're at, change your atmosphere.
Exactly.
You'll never be able to give 100%, and you'll never have fun. I always work jobs that I enjoy and I get to have fun with. So, on that note, I'm really glad that you were able to come up here. I mean, you really are a book full of knowledge. You're really
Right.
talented. You're talented outside of just the kava realm. You're a really talented musician. We do open mic here, and he's one of my favorite performers that comes up. And I really appreciate you, allowing us to come in here and shoot an episode with you guys.
I'm glad to have y'all anytime.
I mean, we're really excited. You have some really great employees. I mean, probably collectively, consistency-wise, have some of the most consistent staff.
Oh yeah, I love my staff. That's one thing I've said from the beginning because I handpicked a good few of them.
Oh, yeah,
And I don't regret any of that ever.
for sure.
I took chances on people that have been begging for jobs in the kava community for so long.
It's
and then
hard.
they've
It's hard to get a
shown-
job.
They've shown me why they wanted it and that they wanted it. And
sure.
I don't regret my decisions. I
Well-
don't regret any of them at all.
I appreciate you coming up here and talking with us, buddy.
No worries.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all
Thank
being
you so
here.
much.
No
It's
worries.
great
Thank you.
always seeing you.
Yeah, let's do a show here in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Let's get an interview show.
Yeah. And Drew, it is your turn to shine, baby. You don't know how to say that in Arabic? The way you say I like your cut G is gafa halaga.
Are you sure about that?
100%. Mo taught me that, or he just taught me to say a swear word. So we're gonna find out in the comments.
Canceled.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled. He just
Like the king of the castle up here, you know?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Alex. So, go ahead and introduce yourself. Talk about how long you've been in the community.
Okay. What am I talking to the mic?
Just go ahead and talk. And we'll see. We're gonna see how well you sound.
Okay. So I've been in the community since about 2020. It started out on my 18th birthday. My best friend took me to Bula actually in Cocoa
Okay.
Beach.
Okay. Yeah.
That was one of the first
That's not
places
far.
I
It's just on the road.
started out.
Yeah. And I hated it. So I didn't come back to any kava bar for about 6 months. But when I did, I started to realize, what the community really had to offer, and it's became more and more a part of me as
Yeah.
I grew into the community, and it kind of welcomed me in, and I
Oh, yeah.
discovered more and more kava bars.
A
Yeah.
good kava bar, really is welcoming to all new people. I mean, that's what I love. Like, I love getting to watch people come into kava bars for the first time. One of my favorite, most recent, stories to say is I watched. It was over at Island Root Egad. I watched pretty much 5 women that had to be over the age of 85 come in, and they were having a girls' day. And they were like, we want to try this kava stuff. And, it was so
That's
adorable
great.
to watch them come in. And I was sitting there editing the Big Dog episode, and they were sitting there with me, and we were talking. And I got to explain to them what kava is, what kratom is. And I got them to try. My favorite drink there is their sangria. And it was so great. And they were so excited about it, and they actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
No, that's a phenomenal drink.
I love watching old people in the kava community. I mean, it's amazing because it's like showing them how to smoke a cigarette for the first time.
Yeah.
There's so much joy in their eyes.
Yeah.
And it can have a lot of healing properties, too. Like
Especially.
if they get into kratom, they have some arthritis, some joint
Oh
pain.
yeah, it helps
That
me
red-
with my back and neck every single day.
Exactly. I mean, for older people who struggle with that kind of
Yeah.
pain every day, to
Can be
even get a little
life-changing
bit of
for
relief
them.
from that, it's life changing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But
part
that's
of the
great to
beauty of it.
hear. I think part of the beauty of people coming into the kava community is seeing their initial curiosity and just dipping their toes into the water, and then
For
once
sure.
they realize how great and welcoming this community is, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah, I love when first timers come in, and we try and give them a shell, get the whole bar
Yeah,
a shell, do the
welcome.
bula all together, make
Oh,
them
yeah.
This
feel
is what it's
welcome,
all about. Yeah, community and family.
Yeah.
Well, so on that note, I mean, being someone who's been around the kava community for quite a while, what would you say sets Calm Collective apart from other kava bars? What is your niche, I guess?
That's a good question. Well, for one, I mean, we don't really look at it as other competition,
Yeah.
the kava bars
Yeah.
down the street, they're not our competition, we're all the same family.
Okay.
You come into our bar, you own a kava bar, you want to talk about it, you are welcome, because we want everyone
That's
to feel
awesome.
welcome.
Oh,
We
thank you
want
very
Thank
much.
you, thank you, thank
everyone
you.
to be a part of the family. Just the other day, we had a new distributor come in with buckets of kava.
Oh, hello.
That was not ours, just asking if he could give some samples out.
Yeah.
He said every other bar had turned him down,
That's awesome.
but we didn't. And it ended up being so popular that he's now one of our main distributors for our kava.
That's amazing. That's what it's all about, I mean, we're a family. We should be treating each other like we're family, and not family at Christmas time where you want to kill everybody. But no, seriously, you guys, I've never seen a more collectively more welcoming group of people.
Yeah.
So
And I think that perspective changes everything, and it's a positive outlook on the other kava bars out there.
So now what we're about to do right now is something that's called a bula, where collectively everybody, this is what I'm talking about when it is the family aspect of being in a kava bar. This is, who here knows what bula means? Do you know what it means?
I think I do know what it means.
Go ahead, explain to the folks at home what it means.
So, a simplified version, bula means to long life and good health in Fijian. So we say that to honor the ceremony that was originally done in the Pacific Islands, where the chief of the tribe would pour the kava into half coconut shells, hence the name.
Yeah.
It would be passed around. It would all raise it up simultaneously and say bula, which is like cheers. And so we carry that on today to kind of honor that tradition and
Awesome.
to keep the good vibes going, you know?
Well put. Well, on that note, Steve, you want to call it?
Shells up! Bula!
Boola! Never gets old.
Oh, y'all killed it.
That's how you do it.
Hey, that's
I normally
tradition.
do it like that.
Woo!
Hey, be glad we're not going full tradition where it was warm.
You know, I actually don't mind warm kava.
Really?
No siree, Bob. Not this guy.
I've tried it, you know, because I get to make it. You know?
Yes, sir.
Not my favorite, but it
Yeah.
definitely has its.
I like warm tea, but not warm kava.
Yeah.
Warm kava is better for you, though, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think it's technically
Anything
better
room temperature is
for you.
better for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
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 I mean, it's not really gonna make a big difference on your health.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
You know.
It's all the same, but
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like when it's cold, you can taste more of that gritty taste, whereas when it's warm, for some reason, for me personally, it doesn't. You don't pick up every little taste.
yeah.
That's fair.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So, for, I guess, your last question for you. So, you've been in the community for a good amount of time. I mean, you were probably one of the first people that I kind of met and talked to. I think I met you because of Moose.
Moose.
So,
yep,
I met you
yep.
because of Moose.
That's probably where I recognize you from.
So,
You look
for
very
those of you
familiar.
that might not know, or those of you that do know and have watched the podcast, Moose was actually my personal tattoo artist. He's the one who did all this here and a couple tattoos on this side. But Moose moved up to Chicago. But whenever I was first in the community, or not first, but like pretty much 3 years after I got in the community, I really got deep into it. And I met Moose, who introduced me to Drew. And Drew really just has been someone who's been in the community, someone I always bump into, and it's literally like seeing a brother.
It's such a small world. It really is. Everybody knows everyone some way, somehow.
So so talking about how tight knit it is, what would you say your favorite memory so far has been in the Kava community? Like what's one moment you look back on and you're like, this is the moment where I realize this is for me.
Okay.
Gotta really think about that one. I'm like even
no.
trying to think how I would answer that question too.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So, like I said, 18 years old, freshly, didn't like it.
Yeah.
I came back because two of my best friends were also my coworkers at the Jersey Mike's in Vieira.
Ayo.
And they were already going up to Blue Lagoon in Merritt Island, and they kept talking to me about it, and they're like, hey man, this place is really cool, you got to come try it out, we got to go. So
Yeah.
I finally started going, and it got to the point where we would be racing each other to close so we could go home, change, and
That's
get
awesome.
up to Blue to spend time together.
Oh,
And
that's
those
very
days are like, that's just irreplaceable nostalgia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like it. Just having that connection with close friends to
Yeah.
just be so willing to come up, 25 minutes away, just
Oh
Yeah.
to be able to be able to spend time together in a healthy environment.
For sure.
It's priceless to me.
Yeah.
So what about you, Lauren? I've never really asked you that.
So, I would have to say I don't have like one moment in particular because it would almost be every single day. I remember we had this probably like a full table like this full of my friends, and we would just always, like you said, like after work, like race to get there to see one another, or like we just always knew one of us would be there, so we'd always have somebody to hang out with or talk with. To me, it like feels like my friends are my family.
Yeah,
So to get to spend time with them is just always a great time.
for sure. I mean, so the moment where I knew wasn't a moment immediate. Honestly, it was 4 or 5 years into it where I was like, I made the right choice choosing this over the alcohol scene. So I had gotten to the point where I was going around and helping, like I was mentioning when Steven was up here, I would go in and fix up kava bars and like teach them the right way to brew, teach them how to advertise better, how to run their social media, and especially to go back to the brewing. There was a girl that I became really good friends with, and she would come every single day, and she would always try and convince her uncle and her grandpa and her brother to come out to the kava bar. And her grandpa is this big, burly, super muscular, old, pretty much like Hell's Angel dude, motorcycle dude. And he was like, I'm not drinking tea, that's that girl stuff.
Real man,
and like,
man.
yeah, it's all this stuff like that. And obviously, he was in a really bad mindset, but he struggled a lot with a lot of pain. And he came in just because he wanted to see his granddaughter. And I was like, listen, I made this myself. I stand on what I say. I won't charge you whether or not you like this or not. This is on me. I will make you my favorite drink to make. And if you don't like it, you never have to have it again. But try it once. That way, if you say you don't like it, you never have to do it again, but you've actually tried it and can say you don't like it. So I made him, it was a Banana Foster's flavored shell, kava shell.
Ooh.
And that's one of my specialties. Like, whenever it comes to kava, that is my specialty drink, is my Banana Foster's. He tried it, and from that moment forth, he was someone who was a struggling alcoholic. He would waste all of his money on alcohol, get drunk every single night. He was mixing alcohol in his pain medicine. And now he has cut alcohol out for 3 years completely. He's been 3 years sober since that day. On top of that, he drinks red kratom tea at least 3 to 4 times a week. And on top of that, he has cut his pain medicine prescription in half because he's drinking red tea more so he doesn't have to pay as much money for pain medicine.
That's amazing.
And,
that's a beautiful story.
it's I knew in that moment, this is why we do it. This is why we're in the community, to get people off these stupid addictions. And here's the thing, is like I said, there's no shame to anybody that drinks alcohol. Like, everybody, like, if as long as you're responsible with it, man, everybody has their thing. So if you drink alcohol and that's your kratom, cool. As long as you're responsible with it, no harm, no foul, enjoy it. But for some of us, I don't have that issue, but I don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't particularly like the taste of kava either, but I know it's something that's good that's going into my body. And overall, end of the day, I'm always going to choose kava and kratom over alcohol. And that's just my preference. Yeah. And, I'm not someone who will stray away from alcohol. If somebody offers to buy me a drink, I'll have it. I mean, it's kind of funny. I sip it. If I ever get a beer is like my least favorite form of alcohol. If somebody buys me a bottle of beer, I will sip at that bottle of beer for like 4 hours and not even drink half of it. And then it gets to room temperature and it's gross, and I'm like, done with that. But no, I don't know. So, like, whatever your thing is, as long as you're responsible, same thing if you're into kratom and kava, you got to be just as responsible, because anything in too much quantity is dangerous. And moderation, moderation, moderation. We preach on it all the time. Yeah. Moderation no matter what you do. Even if you're someone who overeats, like, have moderation, because that's also not healthy for you. And I had to learn from that. I put on a lot of weight, and now I've put on moderation on how much food I eat and when I snack and what I snack on. And it's all just something you have to figure out yourself. And Drew, I really appreciate you coming up here and being vulnerable with us. I never really got to know a lot about your introduction to the kava community because I met you probably 2 or 3 years into your journey. Yeah. But I appreciate you sharing with us here and sharing with everybody at home.
It's great having you on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
I don't want to sit in this chair. I need to feel this chair.
All right, Lauren's going to get up in the chair.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Trades. Hey, baby. Trades is the most recurring character on the podcast now.
This is the new co-host.
You can't see him because, like,
the table.
Like, right under the table. He's, like, right underneath.
Hey, this is nice.
Trades, I love you.
This feels good on my back.
It's so demure.
It's so cutesy.
So, Lauren, go ahead and just chill out there.
Hold on, wait. I just hit my elbow. I'm already hurting myself up here.
So don't talk directly into it because it'll be really loud. But, just...
Yeah.
So Lauren's going to chill up there for the rest of the podcast because we're going to get into our segment. That's where we get comfortable with you guys. Well, Lauren gets comfortable up here in the circle. So this is the part of the show we like to call Breaking Barriers. This is the part of the show where we break down the barrier between podcast hosts and just members of the community. I hate whenever podcast hosts act like they're some kind of celebrity. We are just people. We're just dudes and bras. Bras and dudes. Bras and dudes. And, we don't think of ourselves any extra highly. We're just we're just members, man. I mean, we want you guys to feel like you're part of our community. You guys, as far as I'm concerned, are part of our community. And this whole segment is to show you guys, well, not show you guys, just to have a one-on-one connection and just talk, have a one-on-one conversation with some friends. So, we're going to get into... Oh, yeah, we got to get the... Oh, look at that. Oh, please. No autographs. We're going to do the Mikey special. There it is. All right, Lauren, your turn.
All right.
The Lauren autograph. So if I ever do become a celebrity from the music, I already have my signature out. It's perfect. And I don't think anybody can recreate it. You totally could recreate it. All right, let's see. Let's see what you got. Dang, bro. Bro's over here writing a soliloquy. Okay, well,
I
that
had
put
to
mine
jazz it
shame.
up since Mikey went all out.
Damn.
Damn, that's nice.
Man, well, so what can I say? Well, so our first one is going to be Lauren's.
I put my real last name on that just for you.
Dang, that's crazy.
I didn't even realize it because people think
That's
my
like-
last name is.
But
Yeah.
don't say it. We don't say it online because we
Don't
don't want
say
people
it.
stalking Lauren.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
treaties.
know,
Lay down,
my
baby.
real friends know it. Everybody thinks I'm like Lauren Olivia, but that's actually my middle name. Olivia is my middle name.
Well, so we're going to get into the first one. It's going to be Lauren's segment. So, Lauren, what is a language you want to learn?
That's a hard one because in high school I tried learning Spanish, the good old you gotta
Everybody-
have 2 years for university. I can't roll my R's, so
I can. I got that
cannot,
Hispanic blood in me.
because my old Spanish teacher was telling me, because even in 8th grade I couldn't roll my R's. She says if you're not constantly rolling your R's, your palate will form a certain way to where you can. Whereas
I guess I rolled my tongues when I
my little sister would always roll her R's over and over again just to annoy the hell out of me. And so she can still roll hers, so her palate formed differently than mine.
I'll show you how it goes, right? You ready? Here it goes. How it goes. It goes. Rico suave.
I can't do that. I sound like nails on a chalkboard. They're like, get this gringo out of here. That's a hard question because there's so many beautiful languages out there.
I've learned a couple. So I've learned American Sign Language, Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic.
Honestly, I'd love to know Arabic.
Arabic is very hard to write, very easy to learn how to speak.
Arabic or Chinese?
That's it. Just four languages.
Since we're moving from TikTok to Red Note. I downloaded the app today. It's actually pretty.
Yeah,
it's
TikTok's gonna be
extremely
going away
similar
here in
to
in
TikTok.
TikTok will be going away in 6 days. Or
How am I
5
gonna
days.
learn how to cook, Mikey?
Yeah.
If
Well,
I
you're
don't
gonna
have
to learn
TikTok
from,
teaching me.
You're gonna have to learn from the Breaking Bites
I am.
miniseries.
I am. I learned how to cut bread.
So-
and put jam on brie recently.
What was your language? Did you say? Or you just couldn't choose one?
I would say Arabic.
Arabic. Okay. Well, I mean, this community is full of a lot of Arabic people, so I'm sure we can
Yeah.
get somebody to teach you. Well,
What about you?
if I were to learn another language, I think I would want to learn. I want to learn Russian.
Oh, that's
Russian would be
that's
fun.
a good one.
Because Russians, dude, if you speak Russian in any form, you just sound so serious and nobody wants to mess with you.
That's very true. You just have instant respect, like I'm not messing with him.
So, my Breaking Barriers segment is going to be my top 5 favorite movies. So, now,
I'm curious what yours are. I feel like you've
I've
touched on
said
this
a
before
couple
briefly.
times, but not 5. I probably only said 3. Because there's so many. I was going to do a top 3, but then I was like, I need more just because there's so many great movies. So, the way that I rank what my favorite movie is what movies I have watched the most times. So, number 1 all-time favorite movie. You know what? I'm going to save it for the end. I'm going to go backwards.
Okay.
So, number 5 all-time favorite movie is probably going to be Ready Player One. So
That is a good movie.
So Ready Player One is a movie that's all about how in the year 2055, that the world has almost strictly gone completely into the VR world. And it's just a really great movie. The actors are really great. The story is super phenomenal. There's lots of cameos, lots of Easter eggs for video games, and it's just an overall great movie. Number four would probably be the movie Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
So,
What is that about?
Baby Driver the cast of that is Ansel Elgort, which he is the guy from Ansel Elgort was in the Divergent series. That's
Okay.
that's the brother. That's oh gosh, what's she go by?
Olivia. No.
No, who here's watched Divergent?
Gosh, what's that actor's name?
What? What's the main character's name?
The main actress.
Yeah. Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley.
Okay.
So her brother is Ansel Elgort, which, by the way, Ansel Elgort is also a musician. He's phenomenal. But the movie's about this kid. Whenever he was a little kid, he was listening to his iPod Nano. His mom and dad were fighting, and then both died in a car accident while he was in the car. And he has a continuous ringing in his ears from the car accident. So he plays music to drown out the ringing. But because of that car accident, he had an affinity towards cars. So he becomes a getaway driver for bank robberies. But then he meets a girl that he's in love with, and he wants to run away with her, and he doesn't want to involve her in any of this crime. But he gets sucked back in because he stole his boss's car and crashed it with something like $2 million in it, and it all caught on fire. Yeah. He has to work back at it. So it's just a really great movie. Then number three, top three favorite movie is probably Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, unpopular opinion, as much as I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, my all-time favorite Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Great story, great characters, the plot is amazing, and all the parts where it's supposed to be super heartfelt and deep rooted in the heart, it seriously hits home every single time. The part at the end of the movie where he repeats something that Peter Parker told him, he's like, it's all about taking a leap of faith. And that's what I live my whole life on, is taking a leap of faith. Everything I do is me taking a risk. Everything I do is just me having faith that it's going to work out. So I love the story of it. I love Miles Morales as Spider-Man. It's just really great. The voice actors are great. I didn't like the second one as much as the first, but the second movie is pretty good. Now, second, I know, and this one's going to be really funny. Second place for my all-time favorite movie, live-action Cat in the Hat. Hands down. Oh my
gosh, that's creepy.
So
creepy.
I've watched the live-action Cat in the Hat movie probably close to, I would say, 56 times. There was times where, whenever I had the frat house, it was a clause that twice a month, everybody had to come together on Friday night, and we had to watch it as a group.
Oh
and one time, somebody's first date with a girl fell on a Friday night, and he was not allowed to not watch it. So she came over after they went to dinner, and we watched the movie twice, because the first time, everybody in the frat house quoted the movie start to finish without missing a beat from start to end. Then we rewatched it without quoting it because we're autistic.
What are we gonna do with you, Mikey?
Here's the thing, is I don't know why Dr. Seuss's wife thought it was the worst movie that they'd made. I think that the Grinch, live-action Grinch, was not as good as the live-action Cat in the Hat. The Grinch is great, but the live-action Cat in the Hat,
I can agree with that.
way better. And I love the cast, love the story. It's really great, really zany. Also, Smash Mouth does 3 songs in the movie, so hey, shout out to Smash Mouth. And it just, overall, it looks good. It looks really good for that time. Obviously, the CGI, whenever it shows the Philippines, the house and stuff.
Go into
obviously, it's going to
trash.
look like a Dr. Seuss book with CGI from early 2000s.
Yeah.
But overall, great movie. Now,
the actor did a phenomenal job.
my number one favorite movie is a very well-earned favorite movie. I've watched this movie 63 times. There were times where I watched it 4 times in a row. That's how much I love this movie. The cinematography is phenomenal. It was a movie that came out in 2008. So the fact that it had such great CGI in it, and the story was great, and it's based on a true story. It's got a
Now I'm
multitude of
curious what
things.
this is.
My overall #1 favorite movie of all time is the movie Life of Pi. Life of Pi.
I've never seen it.
We're gonna make you watch it. Life of Pi is it's gonna sound funny because especially when you hear the plot of the movie, the movie is a religious whirlwind of a movie. So it talks about Judaism, Catholicism,
Oh, this
Christianity,
sounds interesting.
the Jewish faith, Muslim faith, Buddhism, Taoism. It talks about all of this. And now what the story is there's a kid named Pai Patel. And Pai Patel was named after the math equation pi. And he was always his full name was Pissing. And he would always get made fun of by kids in school, and they'd call him Pissing, obviously. But so he started shortening it by going by Pi, and he rebranded his name whenever he was in academy, because he memorized something to like the 60th place, the 60th decimal point in
okay.
Pi. But his family owned a zoo in India, and eventually they went bankrupt because the zoo was failing, and they had to sell all the animals to a zoo in Canada. So they had to take a ship with all the animals to Canada, with all these
This
Japanese.
sounds like a crazy movie. You got like Noah's Ark going on.
but it
You
gets
have a
even
zoo.
crazier.
You have
So-
some mathematics stuff.
Pretty much, I'm not going to tell you much more because this will I'll leave you with enough to make you interested to watch it. So, this guy, he's on the ship. Late at night, there's a terrible storm, and the boat sinks. But he's able to get out, and he jumps onto a lifeboat.
Wait, is this the movie with the tiger and him and the
Yes.
tiger?
Yes. So, okay,
Oh,
so
that was
he
really
jumps on the
popular.
lifeboat, and he wakes up the next morning, and he's on a boat with an orangutan, a hyena, a zebra, and a tiger. And he pretty much has to survive pretty much on the ocean for about 6 or 7 months or longer with a tiger, just him and a tiger in the middle of the ocean with almost no supplies. So it's a really great movie. I'd recommend it. I will buy you the movie. If you want to watch it, I will buy you the movie or give you my Apple
We will
account
put
so you can watch it.
the link to pirate it down below.
Yeah, it is by far the greatest movie of all time, I would say. So on that note, we're going to go to our last topic for the Breaking Barriers segment, which is what is our biggest pet peeve? And now this is any kind of pet
I
peeve.
would say table manners
Table manners?
or just manners in
So what do you mean by
general.
table manners? Like so?
So, like how you eat, how you carry yourself. Do you open the door for a girl? Do you go out
Chivalry
your
ain't
way to be I can't even say
Chivalrous.
it.
There you go.
Chivalrous.
She can't roll her R's. She can't say the letter R.
I can't speak anymore, guys.
She's so comfy up there. She's like falling asleep. She's slurring her words.
It's all the kratom getting to me.
All kratom. So manners is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Like, when
What is the
somebody's-
worst thing you've ever seen somebody do, manners-wise?
Well, my sister does it because she just likes to
Uh-oh.
annoy me and she
Calling her
doesn't
out.
really care. But I'm trying to think of a time where it wasn't like, my sister or my family.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back on a date or something. I'd say one of the biggest ones is when people, like, let's say this is the table, right? Or this is the table here, and pretend this is like a bowl of soup.
Okay.
And instead of, like, bringing the soup to their mouth,
Okay.
they're like,
That's a weird one. Okay. All right.
they're like bringing themselves to the food instead of the food to themselves.
Okay. That's not really manners. That's just being weird.
Etiquette, maybe. I don't know. Or like not pushing your chair in. That's a big pet
damn
peeve.
Southern Belle over here.
Yeah, I am. My family is Southern, from Louisiana, so that stuff drives me crazy.
Okay. Well, my biggest pet peeve, and this has been a big pet peeve for me. I remember even whenever I was in 4th grade telling somebody this is my biggest pet peeve, is I hate, because I'm not funny often, and whenever I get a good joke and somebody steals it, someone who steals my joke, consider our friendship over. If you give me credit, we're good. But if you steal the joke and act like you came up with it on your own, over, bro. I cannot stand a person who steals jokes. And I feel like that would roll over into other things like stealing music or stealing lyrics or people who would take credit for projects they did nothing.
Yeah.
I always had to work extra hard to,
You're the one carrying the team.
yeah. And because I struggled in school, so I would do my best to learn, and my mom would help me a lot, but like I would struggle a lot. So
Yeah.
anybody to steal credit for something that I did would piss me off.
I feel like in high
Biggest pet
school, I don't know, it was like the same group of kids that were in each class, right? And then we kind of like, some kids were better in English while some were better in math. And we formed this giant group chat. So the kids that were like good at math did all the math homework for all of us.
Yeah.
The kids that were good at English did all
Dang,
the
she's
English.
got a caste system.
That's how we were running it at one point. They're gonna take away my high school diploma.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so we can kind of relate on that. The manners thing, I'm not super big. I hate people who spit when they talk. That's the
Mike,
manners
you've
thing.
been doing it all night.
Okay, listen, bro. Okay, I hate myself. No.
Put the clips in of Mikey spit flying everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom in. We're gonna have some 4K camera
You weren't
footage.
bad. I only saw it once.
Here's the thing. I get excited and then I forget to swallow, so it's just sitting there while I'm talking, and I get
Yeah,
really
that's what's
excited.
going on. That's why I'm slurring my words.
I really like people. I do like people who have manners more than people who don't. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like.
Or you know what?
I don't care if you chew with your mouth open, like, or whatever.
Scratch
like
all that. It's like my biggest pet peeve when people aren't like appreciative. Like you do something for them, like just even a small gesture, and they don't recognize it or say thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna do an ad read here.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I get everything right because right now they're cracking down on this.
Cracking down. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
Like they put out a thing like people like misquoting what the
Oh, okay. There's a lot to read.
so.
I think you do a pretty good job.
Okay. Let's set this here. Alrighty, guys. Well, I just want to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Mitra 9. We love Mitra 9 here on the podcast. We actually just spent the entire day kind of going back and forth talking with some Mitra representatives, and we have some big stuff coming. But I just want to kind of talk about a little bit. I realize I talk a lot about the Kava or the Mitra Kratums, but I never talk about the Mitra Kavas, which is just as great and just as flavorful. And it was funny, I actually saw somebody pour out a can because I know we talked about recently. We talked about I wonder what it looks like, and it looks just like the same as the Kratom teas, but it looks really tasty. Mitra's kava comes from a lush hillsides of Southeast Asia. It's an evergreen shrub, and it's celebrated for its soothing properties. It's refreshing, you know. So I tried one thing we're gonna have you try. I tried recently the kava dreamsicle, and seriously.
No, I would actually be curious to try like flavored kava.
So what I did is I took that and I put the vanilla kava ice cream from Route A1A, and I mixed it together and I made a dreamsicle float, and it was super good. And one thing that specifically Mitra's kava seltzer does is one thing that Mitra's kava does is it offers a natural path to tranquility, well-being. It recognized as an excellent low-calorie alternative. I mean, seriously, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, with the kava,
Great
the kava
health
seltzers
benefits.
is one thing I realize is with a lot of companies that I've tried, they do not taste good whatsoever. Like there's some that's just like it's the LaCroix of kava seltzers. I do not like LaCroix. I think LaCroix are the epitome for tasting like TV static. They taste like crap, and
You're not wrong.
they don't even taste like the flavors that they have in it because the soda water is so overpowering. But with the Mitra kava seltzers, you really can't go wrong. Talk about flavorful, hard-hitting, just really great social drinks. And it's really a great alternative to alcohol. So, like, I always recommend if you're someone who likes White Claws or Trulies or insert any alcohol seltzer, you are going to love the Kava or the Kratom Mitra extracts. You really can't go wrong. Every single time I make mine a Mitra 9. Thank you, Mitra, for sponsoring this video.
Yes,
we love you
thank you
guys,
guys.
and we cannot wait. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, we're going to be doing a giveaway here with some Mitra stuff. We're going to be giving away a 4-pack of Kratom seltzers, a variety pack, and a 4-pack of Kava seltzers. So, one last time before we end out, the best way to do that is to enter in by commenting on every single video that we put out and liking every video we put out. The more comments and likes you put out, the more entries you get to win. And at the end of March, we're going to be giving that away. So you guys have about 8 to 10 episodes to win. So that's about 10 entries per person if you do every single episode from here on out. So I'm really excited. I think this went really well. Our first episode, I was really nervous. Like, I wasn't really showing it. I wasn't really talking about it, but I was very nervous because this is our first.
It does feel weird being in a different space than normal.
It does. I mean, it looks like you're way more comfortable than usual.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm
seriously,
chilling.
this was a really great first episode outside the bar. Really interactive group. Great drinks.
Great atmosphere, great people.
Very knowledgeable. I mean,
Yeah.
A kava bar is only as good as its knowledge of the product itself. Because if you can't explain what somebody is drinking,
Then what's the point?
what's the point?
Yeah.
It makes people way more scared. So I want to thank Calm Collective. I want to thank Mitra 9. I want to thank Steven specifically. I want to thank Drew, Emma, Brandon. You guys made this episode as great as it was. You guys, all of you, even the people here that we interviewed for the This or That segment, were very knowledgeable. And that just goes to show that they're being very well versed by the people that serve them their tea.
Yeah, and that's
So,
extremely important.
Shout out to them. You guys can check us out. We have our socials. Our social for the channel is breaking_brews_podcast on Instagram. Obviously, you guys are seeing us here on YouTube, so you know where to find us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more. We'll be coming back to you guys every single week. And I'm your host, Mikey, too.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
We may have to edit out the part where I pretend like that was soup.
All right, guys.
That might look a little
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you, Calm Collective, for just being a great place to host. I loved it. Drinks are amazing. And make sure you guys tip Drew well. He's taking really good care of you guys. We love you, Drew.